How are you, my friends? This is review questions number 1 on trigonometric functions of right triangles and other angles, and also trigonometric functions using unit circle. Question number 1, find the exact value of tan 19 pi over 3 times sine 570 degrees minus cosine of minus 855 degrees. Now, let's start with the first function here, tan 19 pi over 3. This angle is bigger than 2 pi, so we can find the coterminal. We subtract 6 pi, multiples of 2 pi. How do you know 6 pi? Just divide mentally, and very quickly here, 19 over 3, it will be 6 point something. So you can subtract 6 pi. Now, the coterminal is pi over 3, which is an angle in quadrant 1. No need to find the reference, it will be itself. Now let's see the other angle, the second one here, sine 570. The angle 570 is bigger than 360, so we subtract 360, we get 210. 210 lies in quadrant 3. So the reference will be 210, the angle itself, minus 180. It will be 30 degrees. Now 30 degrees is the reference angle. Now we know cosine function is even, so cosine of minus theta is the same as cosine of theta. So cosine of minus 855 degrees will be the same as cosine of 855 degrees. Now we can find the coterminal. So we subtract 2 times 360. So 855 minus 720 will be 135 degrees, which this angle here, 135, lies in quadrant 2. So the reference would be 180 minus 135, which is 45 degrees. Now let's put everything together here. So the reference here is in quadrant 1, so it will be the same as tan pi over 3. 570 lies in quadrant 3, so it will be sine of 210. That's the coterminal, minus cosine of minus 855 will be same as cosine 135. This is in quadrant 2. Remember, this is the same here in quadrant 1. We have a minus because 210 lies in quadrant 3. So we have to put minus, sign the reference. This minus from the question. Cosine 135, this is in quadrant 2, and the cosine is minus, so we write minus cosine 45 degrees. This will be square root of 3 tan pi over 3. Sine 30 will be half, so there is a minus here, minus half times this, there is a minus from the question, and cosine of 45 degrees will be square root of 2 over 2 with the minus inside. Now question number 2 says, use the figure below to find the value of h. We have two triangles here. Each one is a right triangle, and there is angle 60 and angle 60. And this will be the side 45, and this is h we have to find. Let's start by labeling all these triangles A, B, C, and D. So we start by using the triangle ABC, the right triangle. So sine of theta, we know the formula, opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of this 60 will be 45 over the m. So m will be 45 over sine 60. Let's leave it here. Now let's take the triangle ACD. Also we can use sine theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine 60 will be the m over the h. So cross multiply here, h will be m over sine 60. Now this is what we need, h. We can just replace m from the first equation here inside here. So we say h will be 1 over sine 60 times the m. M from up here, it will be 45 over sine 60. So h will be 45 divided by sine 60 all squared. Sine 60 will be square root of 3 over 2. When you square it, you get 3 over 4. So 45 over 1 times 4 over 3, which will be 60. Question number 3, express tan of x in terms of cosecant of x, given that x lies in quadrant 4. So we need an expression for tan of x. I can start with the known formula I know 1 plus tan squared of x is equal to secant squared of x. So take 1 on the other side, it becomes minus 1 plus secant squared of x. Now, secant squared of x, I can replace every secant of x 1 over cosine of x, it will be squared. And we know sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x is equal to 1. So I can replace here, instead of cosine squared of x, 1 minus sine squared of x. Now, every sine of x will be the reciprocal of cosecant. So here we have a complex fraction, minus 1, 1 over 1 minus 1 over cosecant squared. So this will be cosecant squared of x minus 1 over cosecant squared of x. The reciprocal will be cosecant squared of x divided by cosecant squared of x minus 1. There is a minus 1 here. Find the LCD. So you multiply all this with minus 1. You will get for tan squared of x, 1 over cosecant squared of x minus 1. Take the square root of both sides. Tan of x will be plus or minus, remember. Why we choose this minus? Because we have x is in quadrant 4, so the tan of the x will be minus divided by this square root will be plus value. Question number 4 is really nice. Given tan of a square root of 24 and secant of a less than 0, if sine of a plus secant of a times tan of a is equal m square root of 6 divided by n. So we need this expression here where m and n are numbers. Find the value of m plus n. Now, given tan of a square root of 24, we can write it as square root of 24 over 1, which is y over x. Given tan of a is positive, we can see that. And also there is a condition. You can see the condition here, secant of a is less than 0, which means the cosine of a is negative. So a will be in quadrant 3. Now let's find r using Pythagorean theorem, because x is there, y is there. So r squared will be x squared plus y squared. So r squared will be 25. R is equal to 5 because r is always positive. So sine of a y over r, we can write it here. Cosine of a x over r, we can write it also negative. Now, from the previous slide, we have sine of a and cosine of a. Let's find the expression in the question. Sine of a plus secant of a times tan of a. Sine of a minus square root of 24 over 5. Secant of a is the reciprocal of the cosine of the a, minus 5 over 1. Tan of a is the given square root of 24 over 1. See here in the denominator, we have 5. So here, when you multiply here, we need to multiply up and down by 5 so that we will have the same denominator. You see this 5 here? So you multiply by 5 up and down, you get 25 there. And square root of 24 simplified as 4 times 6. And also the same here. So you can take 2 outside, and there is minus 1. And minus 25 will be minus 26 times the 2, because we have 2 on both here. And then square root of 6. So this is minus 52 square root of 6 divided by 5. Now, what we need is m is the coefficient of square root of 6 minus 52. N is 5. When you add m plus n, you get minus 47. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. I hope I can see you in another video with another topic. Thank you guys for listening.